it is that time of the week again to do our round 3 NRL predictions. Now, you'll see in the next slide that I'm not doing very well so far this year. That's because these games so far is just questionable. Like, there are teams that should be winning that aren't, and then the teams that should be losing are winning. So I already it's hard to kind of figure out which teams are gonna do well for the season. Like, it is early in the year, like the season just started, but kind of going into the year, you kind of should have a good understanding of where each team can be. But anyway, so let's look at the ladder real quick. Before we get into the ladder, however, Panthers have the bye this week, so it was the Eels. They've got the most unfortunate next 4 weeks or something. So they literally verse the teams that are coming off a bye each week for the next 3 weeks or something ridiculous like that. So poor buggers that have to verse the team that get a week break. Unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And it's the Eels. Like, we actually care that they get that. But the ladder, let's get that up. Here we are. You can kind of see already my season results. We're not even got half our tips right. 3 out of 8 this week. Go me. Who did I get right? I got the Broncos, Dolphins, and can't remember who the other one was, but it doesn't matter because the teams I selected that should have won didn't. Well, that's okay. That's okay. It's just the way it goes. So yeah, there's a ladder you can see. It's funny, the 4 teams, I don't know if you can see this right here, the 4 teams that, or out of the 4 teams that are on top on 4 points, undefeated per se, Dragons and Sea Eagles both have had a bye. So it's quite interesting to see that the Broncos and Dolphins are the, I guess, true undefeated teams, just because these two have had that bye. So let's look at the first game of the weekend. Sea Eagles versus the Eels. It's a Sea Eagles home game. As you can see, the last 5 games, a win in round 1 and then a bye for the Sea Eagles, where the Eels are loss, which kind of really influenced my pick. Sea Eagles coming off a bye. This is really going to be that one game that the Eels do lose. Do win, I should say. But I will go Sea Eagles just because they looked surprisingly good. New coach, Turbo back in the team, hasn't done a hamstring yet. This could be the game. Who knows? So yeah, I'm putting my eggs in Sea Eagles, especially because it's a home game for them. Like, can't be any better than that. The first game on Friday is Knights v Dolphins. Unfortunately for the Knights, they probably will lose Ponga for the next. You want to say, what do you have? Half a season last year, off, or something ridiculous. He's had like 4 concussions in the past 10 months. Poor bloke. But I will be going Dolphins. I don't think the Knights are going to be much without Ponga. That's just a reality. I don't think the Knights really have much to offer as a team. Their halves combinations have swapped so much the past, let's say, 5+ years. Even though it is a home game, I'm really backing the Dolphins here. I'm surprisingly liking what they're doing. They do have the super coach in Bennett, but yeah, hopefully they go 3 in a row. and which would really spice up the season, to be honest. There's a brand new team. If they make the top 8, when in theory they shouldn't be making the top 8, that is going to be a great story and a part of their history that's going to be. And also, just all the naysayers that, we shouldn't have any more teams, like the talent pool isn't, well versed. Pretty sure like half the Dolphins team were just your standard Q Cup players. Most of I think their forward pack mainly, and some of their wingers and fullbacks are really experienced NRL players. I'm pretty sure their halves players are from the Redcliffe Dolphins. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So it is a great story. So Dolphins for the win. Well. Here we are. One of probably the hardest games to tip this week. Roosters versus Rabbits. Both 1-1 to start the season. It was real. I initially went Rabbitohs, but for some reason I just went to Roosters. They're getting some players back if they're fit. I think that was the hardest thing. They're getting some players back, but they got to pass fitness tests. Pretty sure it's the Roosters. So based off that, I went Roosters. Rabbitohs, I wouldn't be surprised if they do win, which I'm quite happy to go Roosters, and take that loss, because this game could go either way for me. So yeah. Titans v Storm, which is probably gonna be the weirdest game of the round. Storm still don't have Munster. I still backed them last week to beat the Dogs, I believe, but they got thrashed by the Dogs. I think they're also missing some other players. And this is going to be played at Titans home ground. So I'm after last week when Titans should have won, I'm like, nah, that's it. Never again, Titans. But some reason this game is giving me the kind of the underdog vibes that they should win this game. Both again a win round 1 and then took the L round 2. It is what it is. It's the start of the season, so Titans it is. Cowboys versus Warriors at Cowboys home ground. This is actually probably another game that can go either way. A few years ago, Warriors, I would back the Warriors week in, week out. They'd always leave me disappointed. I do think this is a year though, however, that I should be backing them game in, game out. Unfortunately, I'm picking the Cowboys for this. This is probably the one game I will be mad at if the Warriors win. But otherwise, I'm going the Cowboys. This could actually be the game of the round, Broncos v Dragons. By first week for the Dragons and come in red hot against. Actually, they beat the Titans. That's who they beat. Where really Titans should have had that experience already coming into the season, even though it was one round. They should have had that experience. But I will. I was gonna lie and say I will never go against my team, but I've done that numerous times for the sake of picking correct tips. But again, I'm not going against the Broncos here. I think they're in good form at the moment. 2 wins. They beat the reigning premiers round 1, and they 1 point or a converted try. They beat the Cowboys, which was always going to be close. So yeah, I'm backing the Broncos in this game. What a mess of a game this is going to be. Bulldogs versus Tigers. What a crazy game this is going to be. I just cut to chase. Tigers, I guess, are dog water. I did have high hopes for them, but I guess they're mainly a new team, so they do need to gel. Definitely not making the top 8. And Bulldogs thrash a Storm, so kind of easy pick to go Bulldogs. They got a few players last year that went over, so they've had a bit more time to gel. And I think it was only 2 big names that they got this year, and kick out and get who the other one was. So Bulldogs, easy pick. Speaking of dog water, Raiders versus Sharks. And dog water, I meant Raiders. With dog water. They are high chance to be wooden spooners this year. Even though I had Knights as my wooden spooners. But yeah, I think I said it last week. Raiders, I think, are going to be in a 5-year rebuild. So I'm pretty much not going to say Raiders most of the season. Sharks, even though they don't have Nico Hines, they're in great form. So this was an easy pick to go Sharks. Well, there it is. There is round 3 picks done. Hoping for a much better round this week. I'm confident in it, unless there are some ifs. Whoever was versing the Dolphins. If Dolphins lose, that's gonna be a surprise. They're in red hot form. If Dragons beat the Broncos, who Broncos are in red hot form, I probably will punch a TV screen, which will be disappointing. But it is what it is. Actually, I do have a spare TV, so I can get rid of that one. So there it is, round 3. Let me know what you think. If you made it this far, thank you for coming, and I will see you next week for round 4. That you never solve. Send for the down race for your firestorm, cause I turn into a monster. Ready for the war, better with your flag. None of them boy, they no bad.